The Chinese auto industry is hitting milestone after milestone. New energy vehicle sales in the country skyrocketed by 37% last month compared to the same period a year earlier, accounting for a record 50.7% of car sales. This is truly astonishing for a country that's already battling a property crisis and a recession, resulting in overall domestic car sales still falling by 3.1%. The country has so much manufacturing capacity and inventory that even their own government and citizens can't absorb all of the vehicles produced, resulting in China becoming what many feared, an exporter of cars. And as it turns out, folks, there's a serious risk that they might be better at doing that than any other country worldwide. This really isn't a myth anymore. China is becoming what Japan was to the United States in the 80s, with Honda, Nissan, and Toyota entering the market and bringing in much more competitive products with much better value than the top 3 OEMs from Detroit. With the Japanese becoming good at practicality and reliability, the Chinese are really good at scale and technological integration, which is exactly what's prompting a wave of Chinese OEMs in the startup space. All of a sudden, there's a huge addressable market for electric vehicles that are smart and offer unique, luxurious features in a design that is modern but also still approachable. And legacy OEMs, particularly like GM, Ford, and Volkswagen, are getting the biggest hit and reality check so far in 2024, with someone like General Motors potentially restructuring its entire Chinese business after plummeting in sales and once being the best-selling auto brand in China. Yeah, folks, not long ago, GM actually sold more cars in China than it did in the United States. It was a top brand consumers were actually looking forward to buying. But now GM CEO Mary Barra only expects to launch a laughable 20 new EV models over the next 5 years in mainland China. That, folks, is a hilariously low number in the market that we're seeing right now and in the way that companies are innovating today. Tesla themselves are now getting outcompeted by automakers like Zeekr, which is officially the fastest growing EV startup on planet Earth after just launching a battery that can charge from 10% to 80% in just 10.5 minutes. At charging speeds of 800 kilowatts, which are already moderately available across charging stations in China, unlike in the United States, Zeekr's new batteries can ultra-fast charge much faster than anything Tesla has to offer. And the best part is that these Chinese OEMs are bringing these products to market at record cheap prices that even with tariffs in Europe or US as proposed would be competitive with those produced in the West. Though the Tesla Model Y still leads the first half of 2024 sales for pure battery electric EVs, there is a significant growth seen by BYD, Ion, and Chang'an, with companies that are producing both combustion engine vehicles foraying into electric vehicles and arguably have a much better production capacity and much more products on the market. BYD, for example, on this list alone has 5 products in the top 10, whereas Tesla only has 2, which means BYD by unit volume is selling more. What's more is that with someone like BYD, their vertical integration allows them to have average vehicle costs lower than any comparable OEM, with their average cost being $11,000 versus Tesla's being $26,000, disregarding the cost of the battery. And there are a few key reasons for why this is happening. Not only are entrepreneurs promoted to produce new companies, business strategies, and products, but the Chinese government supports their companies significantly by providing liquidity and private money injection, unlike even the best of the best investment firms in the West. As a matter of fact, Janet Yellen, in her visit to China, accused the government of overcapacity and potentially injecting too much liquidity, causing an artificial growth in the EV market, as subsidies this year have doubled for the average electric car. A byproduct of this growth is the fact that pollution has fallen 42% from 2013 to 2021 in China. But with a 40 million production capacity per year for cars and only 22 million being sold every year, clearly there's a risk of EV graveyards and oversupply forming. Whether or not this results in a bubble in the EV market in China in the near future, only time will tell. But rest assured that technological innovation and manufacturing practices are making Chinese EVs much more competitive, and don't be surprised to see them on the roads, at least in Europe, Australia, and other emerging markets. As usual, folks, that is just my take on the situation, so let me know your thoughts on Chinese EVs down in the comment section below.